I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. This is my year.
This is my year.
I'm gonna be great.
I'm gonna be great.
You cannot stop me.
You cannot stop me.
No one can stop me.
No one can stop me.
This is my year.
This is my year.
I'm gonna be great.
I'm gonna be great.
You cannot stop me.
You cannot stop me.
No one can stop me.
No one can stop me.
Are you ready? I'm ready. 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 Visualize it. Visualize it. Manifest it. Manifest it. I mind my business and I no complain. Every day I dey work and pray. As I dey chop, I dey wash my plate. I dey wash my plate. Don't be surprised when you see me elevating. Don't be surprised when you see me celebrating. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when you see me celebrate. This is my year.
This is my year.
I'm gonna be great.
I'm gonna be great.
You cannot stop me.
You cannot stop me.
No one can stop me.
No one can stop me.
This is my year.
This is my year.
I'm gonna be great.
I'm gonna be great.
You cannot stop me.
You cannot stop me.
No one can stop me.
No one can stop me.
Are you ready? I'm ready. 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 This year they go call you for phone and tell you many, many congratulations. If you believe it, repeat it. Amen, 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 amen. Don't be surprised when you see me elevating. Don't be surprised when you see me celebrating. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when you see me celebrate. This is my year.
All right, everyone. This is our another workshop Wednesday sessions. I think people are just coming in. I'll wait for a little bit. Sorry, I'll wait for a little bit. So in the meantime, there's a Argentina versus England game going on. Who are you guys rooting for? I checked the score. Just no team has scored yet. So let me know you guys and where you guys are tuning in from. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hello, Argentina. There's some support in the Argentina. England. Of course. Of course, of course. So for today, tuning in from Zimbabwe, from India, more games. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Today we'll have I'm pretty sure we'll have a good talk with Krishna and Gio from the Nuel AI. So England just saw Argentina lose. Right. I'll wait for a little bit before we start our stream. Let's see. Okay. So, gentlemen, let's welcome Krishna and Gio. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hello. I think today's we just finished our stream, so people they're trying to be here. Yeah, there are only 19 people watching right now, but usually they're like 200 people just tuning in.
Yeah, I think the FIFA game is more enticing, I would say.
Yeah. Yes. It just finished, I think, halftime. I think it's going to start second half.
Yeah, the second half is going to be more.
Yeah, it's going to have a lot of viewers.
Yes. Especially it's 0-0. No one. And also there are like time difference. Some of the people are tuned from South Africa. Some are from the West. So
nice.
All over.
Hey, everyone. Pleasure to meet you all from South Africa.
It's almost midnight in South Africa. Wow.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. So should we do some icebreaker? So
Sure.
the whole recording, so the whole live stream is recorded, so they can rewatch it.
Sorry, having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The whole live stream is recorded, so they can rewatch it.
Amazing.
So we can start our stream. So for our icebreakers, do you prefer startup or enterprise?
Do you want to? Sorry, what's that?
Do you prefer startup or enterprise?
In term for what? Like to work for or to? Like,
Yes.
Well,
work.
startups I typically start them, so I prefer startups personally. The only enterprise I worked for was Purdue University as an innovation fellow, and I did not enjoy my time there. I mean, I enjoyed it, but like I'm not someone that works for corporate. Period. That's just not in
Yes.
me. How about you, Gio?
I don't have a lot of experience in the corporate world, but I'd say the thing that I like most about working on startups is the amount of creativity that you have and decision making that actually affects outcomes within the organization. So you actually feel a part of something, whereas generally in the corporate setting, you're kind of just you're a link in a very long chain.
I see. So another question is, do you prefer networking event or one-on-one coffee chat?
I think I prefer a coffee chat because I get to learn more about the person than I do at a networking event where it's like almost like speed dating, where you're just going through multiple people and collecting as many of the cards, just so that you can then set up the coffee time later.
Yes.
That's my choice.
I actually have to disagree here, and I'll say I prefer the networking events, but solely because of the amount of interesting people you get to meet. Of course, sometimes it can be a little bit of a waste of time because, just like you said, it's like speed dating, so you never actually get like a real connection with someone. But I've been lucky enough to meet some really good people and now friends from these events.
Yes.
And you get to, for example, like. I'm not maybe like I don't have the most confidence when it comes to having conversations with strangers in these kinds of settings, but it's helped me get a lot better because you get thrown into the pit. You have dozens or hundreds of people to talk to, and so by the time you're on the 20th person, what are you nervous about? You already went through everything that could have gone wrong by then. So that's why I prefer those kinds of events.
Of course. So the next one, would you prefer to build things fast or build things perfectly?
You go, Gio.
That's an interesting question because I think it actually has to be, it was going to be a boring answer, but kind of a balance of both. I know that's not what you were looking to hear, but if you execute things fast without doing it right, then all that effort and work can be put for nothing. But if you take too long, then you miss the opportunity. So you have to, I think, build in balance of both of those things. And that's, I think, the recipe for a successful launch.
Yeah, and my take on that is that I personally like to build things perfectly, regardless of how fast it goes, just because I think that you are only afforded one bullet in any of these opportunities, whether you're fundraising, whether you're building a product, or so on and so forth. I know that the point of Silicon Valley where we are is build fast and break things, but not many people can afford to do that. You have to have that, I guess, support in order to be able to like get to that point where you can make a big mistake and be fine with it. But I think I agree with what Gio said, which is where there's like I lean more towards the build perfectly side than I do build fast.
Of course. So another one is, would you prefer, are you more of a software engineering field or the other type of field?
Man, you're like really low on voice, my friend. Can you speak a little bit?
Yeah, I think I have a voice problem. Yeah. For the field you're working on, programming field, do you prefer open source or the proprietary software?
I think it depends on the use case. Typically, I I like open source just because there's more flexibility, and software success is based on the community and the team of developers that are able to like take this on around the world. For example, Quen is a wonderful piece of like open source software that people can use on their own local language models, as opposed to Claude. Is we internally at the company use Claude, rarely use OpenAI, but we started off on it, and then but I personally prefer Quen if I was building solo outside with no resources, just because it's more under my control and I can control the weight of the weights of the software. How about you, Gio?
Yeah, I'd say I kind of echo those thoughts. I think it really is like use case dependent. I don't think either answer would be right. I think it just depends.
It just depends. Yes. So for our conversation, yeah, we first planned to talk with the chat. It's like a Q&A style, but since I believe some of the people are sleeping. Some of the people are sleeping. Yep. So I'll change of plan. I'll ask you questions. I think that will be better. Yes. So can you tell me a little bit about Nuel AI
Sure.
and
Nuel,
yourself?
absolutely. So we both work at Nuel. I'm Krishna. This is Gio. I'm the founder of the company, and he's one of the founding associates of the business. And basically, what we work on is variable seasonality problems for agricultural or supply chains. We use artificial intelligence to be able to help companies understand, based upon the multiple different factors, including weather, pricing, insurance, and so on and so forth, what they need to do with the product in order to reduce waste and increase efficiency within the business. By increasing efficiency, we mean saving millions of dollars or expanding the market, whatever it is. That's what we do. And we charge a percentage of whatever that happens. So that's a slightly more complicated way of explaining it. The simpler way of explaining it is think like we built an AI that is the equivalent of a crystal ball that, those fortune tellers and everybody else has. That's what in real life, that's what we built, because that's able to help people understand exactly what they need and act accordingly based on that information. But yeah, I'll let Gio introduce himself first, and then I'll introduce myself after.
I'm Gio. I met Krishna a couple years ago down here while I was attending this area for school. A fun fact about myself is I absolutely love cars, and it's how we actually met and bonded.
What's your role at Nuel?
My role varies. I do a little bit of everything within the company, including hiring, operations, anything that I'm needed in, I'm there for.
And I'm Krishna. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nuel. And my role in the company is also not exactly defined, but we build part technical, partly mostly do sales and operations side of things with the company, and then also architect a bunch of other things. And me and Gio collaborate on a lot of the work. Fun fact about Gio is that he was our first intern, and now he's grown into the role that he is. And so that's kind of the goal of this talk, is like, I want to ensure that we have a conversation here and allow for you guys to have input on exactly to learn like what we look for in an internship, how you can succeed within your careers in general, and kind of make it an open Q&A. And Gio is here to share his personal experience as well. The point of this talk is also that we are launching a couple of internship roles, which you guys are more than welcome to apply for. There's a few technical internships and a few general internships that we're open for.
One thing though, give them a fun fact.
Well, you took the cars part. Fun fact about me previously, I don't know. Well, I guess I'm Forbes 30 under 30 founder. Maybe that's a fun fact.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
I've read your stories on the Forbes, and I've seen that you had an accident.
Yes, I did. Yeah, with my right arm. Well, yeah, I guess you can't see it.
Yes.
But I have like 2 rods and 13 screws in the arm.
And because of that, did you have plan to create Ethos? But am I pronouncing it
That's my
correctly?
previous company. Yes, we built a heads-up display for motorcycle helmets, and that was the previous company that I did. It's because of that accident that made me think about like how do I solve this, and that's just what I ended up doing.
How about Noel? How do you got the plan? How did you get the idea for that?
Great question. So, like I mentioned, I was hired. The only job that I had that I didn't create was this innovation fellowship with Purdue University, which is, think of it like a PhD program, but or almost an MBA program and a PhD program, where they wanted my expertise to solve problems within the agriculture space. This was right after Etho, and basically what happened within that time is I was hired by them. I didn't have any experience in the agriculture field. They exposed me to companies and CEOs and executives within the agriculture space. I spoke to about 72 companies or so. We identified 218 unique problems within the space. And then I was able to take that and apply my process to it and identify the biggest hair on fire problem with those companies. And that's when I decided I'm going to spin it off, which was this, like being able to predict the future is basically the problem, the hardest way to put it. And so starting from what is the lowest hanging fruit in order to climb that ladder and help solve it for them. And that's where the idea of Nuel came in and the business plan to do that. It's, and that I understand it takes a little bit of experience to understand what those steps need to be, but it is pretty straightforward. And the main thing is like you need to have the ambition in order to do that. So there's two paths. Happy to answer it from a founder standpoint if any one of you is interested in doing a, exploring how can you be a founder yourself, or if you want to join a company and a company interests you, that's where Gio comes in and he's able to answer from an internship standpoint, especially at a startup, what it's like. But yeah.
I see. Oh, we got someone asking for an internship. How do we apply for internship, and will they be open or other internship in person or virtual?
So Gio, you want to take
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So to apply, that's something that we're trying to figure out. So I sent to you guys a little bit of a blurb about the internship program and a link to apply. So you guys should be receiving some announcement or a bulletin related thing to apply. If not, you can just go to our website. I don't know if I can type it in the chat.
You can type it here.
Oh, I can't there.
Just tell.
NUEL.ai/careers, and you'll have there's a couple different ways to apply straight from there. There's one link that'll take you to a well-found a website basically to apply, or you can apply directly on the website by filling in the form. The internships will be virtual. Unless somehow you live in the Bay Area, then there's a chance that there are certain times that there will be some in-person events. But generally, it's going to be a fully remote opportunity.
So this is the link for the internship. You can check it out there.
Sorry. Yeah, just add an S at the end of career, because I don't know if it'll take you to the right place without it.
Yeah, sure. We got another question here. All right. So this is the link for the internship, and we got another question here. So, do you foresee Nuel evolving into autonomous, self-correcting operating system?
Great question. No, because technically we work in a space where we cannot allow agentic AI to completely take over. It will be a human in the loop evolution, because these large companies, they're dealing in billions of dollars. So if we automate the AI, yes, would it be better? Possibly, when the system gets to a point where it is able to make the decisions better. But in the worst case scenario, that it makes the wrong choice because of a system glitch or an error or something else along those lines, it's a huge liability for us and for the company. So there is one person that will always be in the loop that will approve any of the work that we do beforehand. The benefit that we've brought to the table is that effectively this process that they used to do was very manual, because variable seasonality is a really hard thing to predict. Take, for example, buying a t-shirt or buying an iPhone or buying any of the things. Like here in the US, we have manufactured seasonality. Like we have Prime Day, we have Thanksgiving, Black Friday, all those holidays. And around those times, they reduce the prices to increase the number of sales. This is manufactured and it's consistent year over year, so that companies know exactly where things are happening. With Nuel, within the agriculture space, You plant seeds every year, yes, but weather comes every year. You don't know whether it's going to rain in March or May. You have no idea what the pricing of the seed is going to be. You don't know whether fuel is going to, like, because of fuel extracts, sulfur prices are affected. There's like 200 different factors that really impact the industry. So the same thing, like, even though you could be a farmer who's planting rice every year, which is not possible because you have to do crop rotation every 3 years. Even if you did that, it's not going to be the same experience generally for multiple years. And so that's why we bring in Nuel to help you understand better about what's happening in the market, how do you better impact your systems, and so on and so forth. So long way to answer, but yes, I hope that I explained your question.
Yeah, thank you for your answers. We got another one too. It's about an internship. Do you prefer someone in the uni for the internship, or do you consider early career candidates?
Everybody's welcome to apply.
Got another one. So with AI advancing within the next 5 to 10 years, how would it impact your company in terms of the front end and back end side of the company, especially when it comes to data processing?
Front end and back end side of the company.
Well, I'm going to approach a service level approach, and then you can go more in depth later.
Sure.
I think 5 to 10 years. That's a big window to look at, but I can say just within what we're experiencing now, and even 1 to 2 years from now, just on, like, let's say the hiring side of things, like one person with the right amount of tools can accomplish what you used to need 5 or 10 people. So a very, very surface level answer is, I think on the front end of things, AI will definitely impact that field a lot, especially with vibe coding and everything else. Back end side, I wouldn't be as confident, but the short answer is I think that we're going to see more efficiency on a per person level. Do you have anything you want to add on that?
Like within our company, I think we will still, like, because of just the position that the company is in, where we have to like sell to enterprises and stuff, we will have more. AI is a catalyst for productivity. So what, as Gio mentioned, like what typically may have taken people 5 or 10 people to do, now you can have one person who's like able to prompt the AI better to then be able to like apply the same kind of work and quality. So that's what we will see expanding. We don't ever see, even in 10 years, replacing humans in the loop completely. I could be very wrong, but generally, I don't know. Like I guess like the larger companies are able to do this, and they're trying to use AI as much as possible. But the amount of bugs and everything else that people are actually doing, like there was a study that I just saw today, where for every dollar spent within the AI space, about only 18 cents of that makes it into product. Meaning, like the rest of the 82 cents, about 44 cents of that is being used to debug the AI code that it had actually written, which is unbelievable. That is a extremely trashy way, but I believe that these large tech companies are doing this so that they can train the models better and quicker than otherwise that they would. But us as a young startup, we cannot risk that. So we have to ensure that people that are experienced and well trained are the ones that are able to do this. My advice in general, again, this is kind of a offshoot for any young entrepreneur, for you guys, like to become engineers, you are in a perfect spot to experiment and learn the prompting better, so that you basically come in and you support the existing senior engineers in the best way. That's the best way to showcase yourself and bring value to the community. And in the same way, that's why we have. I'll again, sorry for the long explanation, but for us, Nuel, we have this support team called Bravos, and that's the internship thing. Like what we consider is like basically the main team that we work on the structures is the alpha team, and then the internship team is the Bravo team. But you guys are not like doing small tasks for us. You're actually, because of this experience that you guys have in your careers and the opportunities where we want to find the young people that are now growing with the software to then support us and teach us, even like learn the new ways and bring impactful things into the career. And if we see that and you add value, just like Gio, he was promoted because he brought a lot of value to the team. He got promoted to full-time position, and now he's embedded into everything that we run within the company. Anything you'd add there, Gio?
No, I think you did a good job covering this question pretty thoroughly. I don't really think I have anything
About
to
the
add.
Bravos program,
Oh,
anything else?
well, I think we'll expand a little bit on that later. I want to save that for when we're talking about it more, so we'll hold that thought till then.
Sounds good. And I want to make sure that everyone understands this. I appreciate the questions about Nuel, but like mainly I want this to be around your career. So feel free to ask me anything that you want so that we can help you guys. Because at the end of the day, this talk is about that.
Thank you. Thank you for answering. And we have another one. So many founders start with an AI solution looking for a problem. How did you validate that the problem you were solving was significant enough that the customer would actually pay for it?
Exactly that. Like you answered your own question. It's customers have to want to pay for this. So you start off like before I started the company, this is really hard for people to do, but you have to build the relationship with the customer that is saying like, if you like they tell you a problem, and then once they state the problem, then you say, okay, so if I build X, Y, and Z, would that work? And then they say, yes, it will, or it won't. And then they'll say, we'll pay for, if you build this, we'll pay for this. That's what you're looking for. So the way you get to that is not by asking them directly, like, oh, do you want water? Yes, I want water. And so like, here's water and I give it to you, pay for it, or something like that. You don't want to do that. You ask them about their problems. You try to understand their problems, build the relationship, and then say, okay, so would this solve the problem for you? And then if they say yes, then, build that thing like a small prototype very quickly. In the age of AI, you can do that. And then showcase it to the customer, and then kind of say, is this something that you're looking for? And then get the feedback. And if they say yes, okay, this would be amazing, this would solve our problem, then say, okay, are you willing to pay for this? Negotiate the price on whatever that looks like, because SaaS contracts are really, really hard, especially if you're building for enterprise. And then if they say yes, then let them sign an MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding, or an LOI, which is a letter of intent, basically saying, if you build this, we will buy this. They're legally, it's not legally binding, but it is enough value to a point where investors will then see that and say, okay, we can support you. And then basically they invest in the company, and then you get to go and build that. That's the easiest way to be the founder path. That's yeah.
Oh, I see. Thank you. I think this one is a bit in-depth questions. Since you guys deal with AI, do customer surveys ask for ISO 42001 certificates?
I will leave that to Gio.
If I'm understanding this question right, the short answer is yes. Compliance is an extremely important part of our business, and it can be one of the most dangerous if not handled correctly. Is there anything you want to add on that?
No, but yes, like we are going through the ISO 42001 certification right now as we speak, especially because we deal with enterprise customers. But yes, and also SOC 2, depending on if we sell into the US. But right now we're selling into Europe mainly, and the rest of the world. So 42001 is the right way for us to move.
Nice. And I think this one is for your journey. This one. So what's one moment you generally thought the company might not make it, and how did you push through?
I'll let you start with that one, and then I have something to add on potentially.
Yeah, I don't think there was any time where I felt like the company was not going to make it through. Exactly.
There was one time.
What during the fundraising thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
But then that was just because of like it had nothing to do with the company. It was basically around fundraising.
But that's an important part of building, and I think it's one that could be covered maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because fundraising it's dependent on company to company. It is not repeatable process. So like when investors lead you sometimes, and then they basically leave you hanging. Then you feel like, oh, I don't know if I can make it. Like we're really close to runway ending, and so on and so forth. So it's the way to push through is just that's why as a founder, in order to be a founder, you need to have the grit, and you just need to do it. There's no other option for you not to because people's lives depend on it, their salaries, even everything else. Like this is your bet. If you feel like when you get there, you would give up in that same situation, like you're running out of money in like a month or something else,
Yes.
that's not founding is not for you.
I see.
The short answer is there's no one to save you besides yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course. Okay, thank you for that. And this is another one about a food science. So, yes. So he wants to know what's the biggest technical bottleneck that you've seen in deploying ML in food and agriculture supply chains.
I will say this with this is the beauty and the bane of food and agriculture space generally. It's not the technology that's the bottleneck. It is selling into the businesses and earning that respect and that from the customer. That is the hardest part of this space. Like the thing about the and that's what like you can literally deploy the best things. The smallest solutions make the biggest impact within the food and agriculture space. But the challenge is the social engineering that is required in order for them to trust you and in order for you to break into the industry. Because if you think about it, people have been growing food for thousands of years without requiring technology. Technology only came in what 40, 50 years ago maybe, and that had absolutely nothing to do with growing the food. And technology has been stacking up like I don't know, like 80s DOS computers. Like people still use that. People use Excel. It has. It's almost an afterthought. So this is an industry ripe for innovation, unlike many other industries. But the issue is people need to learn that okay, now is the time that we need to adopt this, and we can really see true value in expanding this. I'm sorry that I'm not able to like give you more context specifically from a technical background because it also depends on the solution that you're typically working on. But the true challenge is there, nothing technical.
Yeah, yeah, good. Thank you. For the next one, so what is one assumption you had as a first-time founder that turned out to be completely wrong?
So this, when I was the first time founder, when with my previous company, um, I was of the concept that it was just business sense that would help investors invest in their company. It's not true. You can have the best business idea, you can be a great person, but it also, I wouldn't say luck, but it is network building. That makes a big difference in how people see you because they need to have trust in order to invest in your business. And how do you build that trust is just having the network that you can rely on so that you can get the doors to open for you and then get the funding that you need. So definitely don't underestimate building a network. You like the when you hear people are like, "Oh, I built this company somewhere here in my bathroom or whatever else, and I coded it together, and then suddenly I got 20 million." No, they're skipping the part where they're like, "Oh, I had my friend who was wealthy, and he basically had a network of people that I met with. He put in a good word, and then they talked to the VC, and the VC decided to talk to me and invest in the company." So talk to people, build your network, make sure that you're helping people at the same time. That's the and yeah, that was my assumption that was wrong. Is just building a great business is enough.
And I'll add a follow-up. What about the reverse? What is something that you believe that was true? Oh, sorry, that was wrong, but turned out to be true. So something that you ignored at in the beginning, but
Is there
later you
anything
realize this is I should have
Wrong
done
that
that.
turned out to be true.
something that I thought was wrong, but then I had to do that, and then
Um,
that's a good question. It's like really.
Yes,
uh,
yes.
that was
It's a reverse of what you just answered. You
so for
ignore
me,
that. Yes.
I guess this is through the process that I went through where I flipped it on the head in founding a startup. Is like you need to have a product in order to sell to a customer. That was a big assumption that you assume that is true because I can't just sell you an idea or not an idea, but like I can't even sell you a product. Like how do I sell you that I can solve it? That was key differentiator in when I did this. Like I said, I did not build a product when I started this company. I before I did that for 8 months, I learned the idea. Like basically I learned the problems within the industry, figured out like what is the biggest problem out of all of them that was consistent across the companies, then spoke to the customers and then told them if we solve this without giving a product, like without saying like we can build Nuel which does X, Y, and Z, will you buy this? And that's getting their feedback and then building that product based on their feedback directly, just listening to what they're saying, not what I'm saying, made the biggest challenge and the biggest impact in this, which is how I was able to even raise money for this company without even writing a single line of code. This is completely different from how I did my previous company, where I built the product, I built a prototype, and then I got money for it. But then I'm also locked in to what I think is the vision, which is the strongest issue that many founders face, and many first-time founders face too. Is like, you think you know best because you and that's the founder years, where you only listen to things where people are saying yes to, and you're taking that, but you're not taking the rest of the meat that they're saying within that sentence as well. So yeah, hopefully that helps answer the question.
Yes. So this is another one about the intern program.
Oh, that's a funny one. Yeah, it's a no automated resume scanner. It's my eyeballs and my
Yeah,
hands.
exactly. This is my automation right here.
No, the real answer is it depends, because sometimes we'll have thousands of applicants, and so there's screening, but it's not, and nothing is done automated. I have to do it all. But there's questions, that we'll ask that we screen, and sometimes I'll sit for hours and watch 3-minute videos, video questions from each person. And yeah, we'd like to do it this way because now that everyone uses AI in their applications, the scanners it wouldn't really be beneficial because everyone says the same thing. They fluff up their resumes. At the end of the day, it's more so about talking to the person, understanding, how they think about certain things and whatnot, less so about resume.
So I will say this. So whoever is applying for an internship this time around, make your video or something very interesting to a point where it entertains Geo. Okay? Make it stand out to a great way, and then that'll get extra bonus points from us for consideration wise. So yeah.
So about the internship, what is the daily life of an internship? The intern.
I'll let Geo answer this one. It's his personal experience.
Yeah, well, okay. The real answer there is that it varies a lot, and it also depends what type of internship you're doing. Because if you're doing a technical internship, it's going to be a lot different than any other type of internship. So the surface level, if you're doing like a technical internship, you're working within the technical team. Obviously, there's a little bit more schedule. There's a little bit more like task-based things. It's a little more of a traditional internship. Whereas if you're on the other side, like if you're working under Krishna, or it's definitely more exciting. But
I will throw a lot of challenges straight at you with the expectation that you guys will solve that. And that's exactly how you build credibility and the repertoire that you can do this. And that's what it takes. That's the biggest difference between an internship at an enterprise versus at a startup. I give you tasks so that you can own it. And you've got to want to, you have to have that fire to want to do that in order to pass the muster, I suppose.
And just to add on that, there's the realities when you're at a company like ours, a smaller one. It's a lot different than an internship at like Google that's like super structured and has kind of like a roadmap from the very beginning. Here, you actually have the opportunity to make like big changes yourself, but you also have to be more of a self-starter type of person, and you need to be uncomfortable with getting things thrown at you that you normally wouldn't be comfortable doing. Kind of out of your comfort zone. Hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you for answering. And we got another questions about. So what does a customer actually buy? Standard software as a service product or a customer analytics consulting?
It's a bit of both. And basically, like, we work with the customer, we build a tool that is 80% complete, but then we have to like customize it to each customer. So that 20% difference is a customization that then becomes a SaaS contract with that customer with that specific software. But generally, the way that our system works in the best way is that we connect multiple customers' data at once to then understand the flow of that, which is better than the information that the company themselves have internally. And that's what enriches the data. And it provides us with a better connected string, if you will. So like basically, depending on like a long string that's connecting all these companies as a supply chain, from a fuel company output, from sulfur going into a fertilizer company, going to crops, then ending up at Coca-Cola. The difference in fuel, like once we figured out, which is something that in the past people just had to look or hear through or feel the effects afterwards. If you imagine a connected string that you're just like, I guess, ringing it like a guitar string somewhere in like a mile away, and it's so long, you feel the ripple effects. We're able to predict that someone is ringing that bell like way ahead in advance, so that you're able to do that. So that's a little bit more context on the company. But yeah.
Yes, thank you for that. And we have another one. What will you do differently if you want to do this all over again as a founder?
It's a good question. See, I would utilize my youth even more than I did now. I think that is a gift that many people take for granted. You have the ability to fail much sooner, and you can throw more things at the wall as opposed to at a later stage of life. Which is why I think I tended towards the earlier question, building perfectly instead of building faster, because I can't afford to lose. So in order to do that, I think my answer would be slightly different if I was like 19 or 20, and I'm able to go crazy and build something incredible, and then break it. So, but that's like my own personal reflection. But if I was to do things differently, I would apply what I just learned. Also, like with asking customers for feedback, understanding what they're asking, and only building based off of that, not what I think is going to be great, but because they're saying it and they're saying that they can build this, and then validating it with multiple people before I write even a single line of code. That's what I do differently sooner.
Thank you. Thank you for answering that. And we have another one. So I'm early in my career interested in building technology that solves real world problems. Looking back, what skills or experiences gave you the biggest advantage before you started your company?
Great question. It's has nothing to do with your experiences. I was an aerospace engineer. I built an augmented reality company without understanding anything about the optics. It's the will of trying to like build this, because let me tell you this: your job as a CEO is to sell, not just sell to customers. You also have to sell people like Gio, who have he has a brilliant career ahead of him. That's for sure. But I had to convince him, hey, don't join Google or Facebook or take an internship there or apply for those things. Come join me for pennies on the dollar, with some equity in the business, so that you can work on our dream together, so that we can make this better. That's my job. I had to sell him. I had to sell other great, all the people that in my team that had to work on this, to convince them to work for lesser money than they did before. I have to sell investors that this is a great idea. You guys need to invest here. I have to sell customers in order to do this as well. Learning to sell is your best tool that you can do. And a little bit of story here. I learned how to sell by selling myself into cars. Like basically, one time I went to go drive a Porsche, when I was in college. I was like 18 years old, and the guy basically said, I can't let you drive it, but I'll take you out on a drive. So I was like, okay. So I need to figure out how I can be worthy enough of driving a Porsche. And then I drove all the way up to a Pagani Huayra. And I remember that because so that kind of inadvertently taught me how to sell to people. And it's that selling is basically building that relationship so that they trust you enough in order to do this. But yeah, long answer. What would you say, Gia?
Well, I actually want to add something on that you didn't quite talk about, but it's something special about Krishna. And there's other people with it too. But it's being Krishna is okay with he's not scared of taking a no for an answer, and he'll challenge it. And that's another thing that's important. It's something I need to work on myself definitely, is not being like scared of getting a no, not being scared of rejection, and just going for things. In my own personal perspective, the main skill that I can say gave me the biggest advantage would probably be not being scared to walk through random doors. And I don't mean that physically, but I mean that in opportunities. And so sometimes you'll be presented with an opportunity. Most people will call you, crazy or dumb or whatever it is. Like my dad, who I'm very close with, multiple times said, when we were still trying to fundraise and things weren't necessarily very clear on how they were going to go, my dad, my closest person in my life, told me, you should go and get a job that pays, and so you can begin your career. And it was really hard to go against my own parents for 4 months, but eventually it worked out. And so the short answer here is basically that when opportunity is there, you kind of have to jump, and sometimes it might hurt, and sometimes it might go wrong, but there's no way to find out without doing it first.
And as far as sales go, like sale only starts when someone says no. If someone said yes, like I'm selling you water, buy water, there's no sale there. Like there was no process. It was just, you just sold the thing. So you can only start selling or learning to sell when someone says no.
Oh, I see. And thank you for that. And we have another one.
Sure.
Do you have a dedicated quality person?
Yes, when it comes to like hiring, this is my quality person right here, Gio. My quality filter, my AI automation, my everything else. That's this guy right here. But in terms of technical, yeah, we have a quality process. Like our lead engineer, our engineering manager, she's the one that set up processes basically to like review and check everything from a product quality standpoint. And then before we launch it or beta test it, whatever it is.
If someone, for this is for the internship, if a person doesn't have a perfect GPA or a household name tech company on their resume, what is their projects or skills on the GitHub that will make you say, oh, we need to hire this, we need to interview this?
Well, oh, sorry, did you want to go?
I'll go first. I will say this, like this is something that I take pride in terms of like what we did here. I dropped out of college in my third year. I had a great GPA and everything else, and I don't look at the resume until like the fourth or fifth round. Everybody's equal. Everybody gets to do the first assessment test, the skill assessment test. Then you go through the rounds. If you're in the top 10% through all of them, that's how you get through to the end. Like I ensure that we don't look at resumes until the very end, especially not for internships. Because look, people have learning disabilities and all of that, and I still believe like you could have worked at Harvard. I don't care. Like I don't care which college you went to. I don't care about anything else. I still believe like if you're a 20% person, but you're very interested in working in something, you can become a 90% person because you just have the will to do it. And that's the important part. Is like you bring yourself and you actually have the learning process, and you've demonstrated that ability time and again in order to do this right, and that's enough for me to trust you in order to like grow in the company. Because the number of times I've seen people that have all the, whatever, Harvard or whatever else, and they've done everything, they are mediocre employees sometimes, most of the time, and because they're entitled and they have differences. Not that they can't be great. They do great work when they're put in the right way, and then they can be positioned in the right way. But I don't see that often. The more number of times I see people from no-name universities that have come up and have done incredibly well. Yeah, what do you think?
If I'm remembering the kind of like original question, please tell me if I'm straying off of it. But first off, I failed high school. So my GPA was really bad. In college, I tried and it was okay, but I was by no means a standout candidate at all. I did a very basic degree that I didn't actually finish on accident. So yeah, at the end of the day, like at our company, your like degree doesn't, obviously it's not an enormous part of evaluation in the real world. And still today it will help, in a lot of cases to have a degree, obviously. But especially here where we live, a great percentage of people that are doing great big things don't have one. So it's a little bit of a double-edged answer, because it will help, obviously, because it shows, if you got a degree, it shows that you spent 4 years head down doing tasks and showing that you can get things done. So in one way, it does show that you're able to deliver on something. At the same time, that's not the only way nowadays to show that you can do things. You can do projects, and then there's all the extracurriculars. If you're somebody that does a lot of volunteer work or something like that, it shows a lot about your person, and that might be a big consideration down the line. So the short answer there also is that it depends. Ultimately,
I don't say don't go to the university. I don't recommend that. That just happened to be my space. I'm very good, strong supporter of university and the educational programs. But generally, like, you need to be good enough in order to like be working at that company, regardless of what your background or anything else is.
And I want to say one more thing. I didn't graduate, but I recently finished.
Well, you did graduate, but it's a technical thing. He basically, the only thing that he refuses to do is a library course, which has absolutely nothing to do with graduation.
Yeah, I didn't get my diploma, but I walked the stage. And anyways, one of the things that I realized that the big value I think of university nowadays isn't really, well, it depends. If you're doing a technical degree, that's important. But if you're not doing something technical, it's about like the network. I mean, everyone says it's such a cliche answer, but it's about like the network. It's about like, I wouldn't have met him. I wouldn't have been able to live down in Silicon Valley if it weren't for that school. I don't know where I'd be, but it wouldn't be going as well as it is now. And like all of the teachers, like if you're resourceful and you're a nice person and you're outgoing and you're able to talk to people, even if it makes you uncomfortable, it can take you really, really far. And I'm really happy to say that my graduating class, a lot of my friends are doing like really, really well. And I didn't even see that coming, to tell you the truth. But it does come from opportunities and what we talked about earlier about chasing those doors. So that's a beautiful thing about university, is it basically just puts you in an incubator of ideas with tons of other people.
Makes sense.
Thank you for that. And another one is, what's the biggest technical mistake? Sorry, not just technical mistake that the candidates do during the interview at Nuel.
Pretend to be someone that you're not. I don't mind you being perfect. Like, that's not our expectation at all. I want you to be genuinely, like, if this is of interest to you, because look, I understand, like, you know, you on the receiving end of this, you're applying to hundreds of jobs, and it's really hard to go through each one of them and say, like, I am interested in X, Y, and Z. I get that. But at the end of the day, it shows how interested you actually are when you are coming on the call. And I don't want to see like fake interest within the company. I don't know how to say that. Like, there are some people that genuinely connect with things. Then those are the people that automatically, like, regardless of passing everything else, those are the people that end up at the top 3 or 4 candidates that we're finally reviewing. So review as many of the job posts, like the description, as possible. I know it's really hard. And then apply to some of them that you feel that you can definitely make an impact with that. It takes time. It takes the process, rather than doing some random applications. Like, it's really easy to do that because it's just a game of numbers. But that's what I would do. I would just try to make sure that the jobs that you're actually applying to are jobs that you actually want to pay attention to. This is the same thing that we do with fundraising as well. We have a list. Geo starts the list. We have 100 or 200 VCs that we kind of get introductions to and we want to talk to. We review that. We see which ones are within our exact scope. Then we decide to set up 2 weeks worth of meetings with all of them back to back to back. We get like maybe 10% responses back. So from 100 to 10 people, from those 10 people, we maybe speak to like 2 or 3 that actually finally go through the round and then actually invest in the company. Same thing will happen with you guys. In fact, maybe with even more numbers. So just make sure that you guys are actually interested. What would you add there, Gio?
Well, I'd like to go over some of the common kind of smaller things that sometimes I don't think people realize. But I have a lot of friends that, well, now are looking for like jobs. But a couple of years ago, they were looking for internships. And a common thing now, right, obviously, is like mass applying. Everybody does it. There's nothing wrong with that. And you don't have to do a lot of research when you're applying for the job itself, because it's kind of just like shooting a shot in the dark. But if you land an interview, that's, I think, where I see most people mess up, because they don't do enough research. They do what he was talking about earlier, where they try to act like someone they're not. I think a big part of it is it's good to be vulnerable and honest, because we've had instances where somebody comes onto the company acting like somebody, and then they really show who they are, and then it doesn't end well for us or them.
Yeah.
And another thing is like the small details. Like, for example, if you're sending an email to a hiring manager, make sure that you spell their name right. It's little things like that. Little details can really affect everything, because at the end of the day, before you guys meet, there's not really much of an impression that you guys can have on each other. It's all that zero moment is really what matters. And so if you come on and, for example, you're 5 minutes late without saying something, like all of these little things unfortunately do matter. And it's unfortunate that it has to be that way, but that's just how it is.
Yeah, and I will say this, like, hiring is not the hardest part for you guys. It's actually showing it in the job, because we can hire, like, the hiring process can go on forever as long as we want. But like, the thing is, like, you get the when it comes to the real job, it'll show up. So just make sure that you're good. Like, we had to fire a person that we hired. How long do we go through that? Like, with the back end guy that we hired.
How long did the process take, or how long did he last?
He lasted only 2 weeks or so, not even,
like
but yeah,
4 days.
But yeah, like,
and
what was
process was
months.
Yeah, 3 months at least.
Yeah,
4 months maybe.
And so, like, it's not a big deal, and we are very, very selective, and that's one of the instances where that guy wasn't what he was. The other thing is, do not use AI when you're trying to like, and this shows up because like even within
I
our.
think there's a connection somehow.
Sorry, can you hear us?
Yeah, a little bit glitchy.
One sec here.
Oh, we're on Wi-Fi still.
No, not that.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah.
Can you hear us? Is this clear? No. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear
Oh.
you.
Is
Okay.
it still super like warped or pixelated or anything?
Oh, you're glitchy again.
Is it video that's glitchy or is the audio fine?
I think it's on your side. Oh,
I don't know. Sorry.
By any chance, is it better now?
yes, it's better now.
Okay. For
Okay.
now, I'm sorry, guys. We'll turn the camera off, but I think it'll save us here from a bandwidth perspective. So you can hear us perfectly fine and clear?
Yes, fine and clear.
Okay. Yeah. Do not use AI to answer perfectly. Like I was saying, like the last job that we hired, which was the lead data scientist, there were so many people that we could tell they were using AI in order to sound better because they feel not so confident in their own English, or something along those lines. Like even like some of them didn't know the answers, which is even worse. But the other people, they were using English so that they feel like they're representing themselves the best. That's not true. We hired a guy that is more Spanish. Like his Spanish was stronger, but at the end of the day, again, it's a language barrier. That's something that we understand. Don't feel insecure about yourselves. Do not use AI. Be your authentic self. You can stammer. You can think about it and then answer it properly. But just be your true self.
And I just want to add one more small thing. There's an important line that you need to walk between confident and humble at the same time, because obviously, there's been times where I've talked to someone and they're very shy or they're very quiet, they're nervous, and that's totally normal. But it's important to realize that we, as like on the hiring side, have no idea who you are besides what we see on that piece of paper or email or whatever it is. And so you can kind of be whoever you want to be, but be yourself, but also have confidence. Understand that you control this kind of situation, because at the end of the day, all we can do is offer you a job. You're the one that decides if you want to accept it or not. So you're kind of in that, you have that power position there. And so it's important to remember that.
Yes, I see. So to wrap it up, can you give me one tip for the intern and also the overview of the intern itself?
Sorry, last thing, the overview of what? Sorry?
The internship.
Overview of the internship.
You want to start and then you take it over?
Yes.
Sure. Look, your job isn't just to finish tasks. It's to make yourself valuable by solving problems and making others people's jobs easier. That's just the general gist of like how I see this. And like, I want you to apply for Nuel if you truly think that you have a better understanding of the current tools and technology that you can bring. I want a great attitude. I want to see someone who's curious, intuitive, wants to learn, and at the same time is fast at learning and applying things. You can be technical, or you can be in the business side of things. You can bring in the ideas that you have, but I want to see great energy, number one. And number two, I want to see someone who is able to iterate fast and able to learn fast and move with a good pace. Depending on if it's a summer internship or if it could be a longer term internship, like 6 month long, because we've done that in the past. And also that has given semester credits and things like that. That's what I would be looking for. And in order to like I said in the beginning, if you're applying at Nuel AI and you're going through the process, just add a little bit of personality to the video so that it's fun for Gio to watch. Like, let's see, mention this, the MMC or something. I don't know, maybe I don't know if I want to make you guys dance, but like,
No,
do,
no.
do something creative on the video. Let me just ask you that. That's what I would ask. But yeah, Gio, what would you add to that?
I think you did a good job covering, surface level of what matters. But I'd say only apply if it's something that you're actually interested in, and not just something that you're doing for credit. Because I promise that you won't gain as much as you should from something like ours. Because you really do need to be somewhat of a self-starter, and you need to have a certain desire to create, to do, to expand. Because that's kind of the beauty of it, is you're not necessarily given a blank canvas to do whatever you want. You're given the tools to do great big things, and your input really does matter. But if you're somebody that's just looking to get credit, it's a waste of our time, and it'll be kind of a waste of your time as well. And also, we'll be able to tell, and it's just not going to be conducive to either party. Does that answer the question, or was there a second part of that question?
Yes. This is for the overview of intern, and this is the last question. Thank you for the conversation and everything you've shared for today, both of you. Thank you for coming up here. Thank you for your time, and I believe have a great day.
How many people joined the call, if you don't mind?
Oh, I think I can't see it right now. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. How many people are on the call?
Oh, right now we're just 3 of us. Yes.
Oh. Okay. How many people
Yes.
were on the call?
We're live streaming, so it's just 3 of us. Yes.
No. Like the participants, like previously, the viewers or whatever.
Oh, I couldn't see it. There was an error. I'm sorry. Yeah. So please let me end the stream and I'll check. So everyone, have a great day. I'll end the stream here.
Perfect.
Okay.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. This is my year.
This is my year.
I'm gonna be